Yes, it's Wally of the Week. So many to choose from, but James, you've got a doozy as a contender.
Oh, I love that. You know, Rowan, you mentioned Henry VIII as a great feminist before, but of course also he was a great theologian who, because of his marital trouble, wound up giving us the Anglican Church, which has now gone from a once proud tradition to whatever is going on at the Cathedral of Canterbury in England, where the Dean has decided that they would put these graffiti stickers up all over the cathedral to, they say, be more inclusive, which of course is a patronizing way of saying that, oh, well, the only way we can talk to the young people or the poor people is if we do graffiti, which of course, you know, is the opposite of the truth. But there you are. It is desecration of a sacred space. It is horrific. This is a Wally for all eternity here. I think that this is
and
JD Vance, even JD Vance had a crack at this, tweeting that it is weird to see this happen here. The
irony of honouring marginalised communities by making a beautiful historic building really ugly. Exactly. I mean, the bigotry of low expectations.
And we need more beauty in this world. We need more beauty in this world. And this is a desecration of beauty and a sacred space and this cathedral. And I don't know what this dean is thinking. You've got a new woke.
Do we have a photo of the dean? Do we have a
photo of the dean? I don't know that we do. No, sorry.
We don't have a photo of the
maybe
dean.
Next week, but the dean, that's my Wally of the week.
Okay, it might actually be Wallina of the week.
Wallendra, I don't know,
The dean is
and that's not
necessarily a bloke.
Well, but we don't understand biological
who knows what
so
exactly, yeah, so whatever. The dean is
they,
yes. Who have you got for us?
I've got a nomination who, when I'll say her name, you'll be saying who? Mary Aldred.
Who?
Exactly.
Who? What?
Exactly. It's the first time I have heard of this character, the member for Monash, first-term Liberal MP, and the Libs are just absolutely leaking like a sieve. Jacinta Price had a commentary about this throughout the week, about just how badly the place is leaking, and she went and had a go at Andrew Hastie in the party room meeting, tore strips off him apparently, a first-term MP who's achieved nothing, who's never laid a glove on Labor, having a go at Andrew Hastie, a most likely future leader of the party. I mean, what is going on in the Liberal Party, James?
So, well, she gets a nomination. She gets a joint nomination with Paul Scar. That'll be Paul Scar.
Who?
Now, yes, they're so well known, these Liberals. They're really punching above their weight, aren't they? He's the opposition. He's Susan Lay's immigration spokesman, who also had a crack at Andrew Hastie. This seems to be the flavour of the month, saying that, and kind of, it was taken that comments that Andrew Hastie made were taken by Paul Scar to be reflections of Enoch Powell. So this was the idea that he was somehow starting to feel like a stranger in our home, which I mentioned earlier. This was all, you know, kind of Enoch Powell style. I'm sorry. And I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. I believe Enoch Powell has been more than vindicated in the warnings he gave about immigration without assimilation and integration, which was the point of the famous Rivers of Blood speech. Not immigration per se, but immigration without assimilation and integration. And Andrew Hastie is saying the same thing. So I'm afraid, Mr. Scar, you get a joint Wally with the two people nobody's ever heard of.
I'm sorry. It has to be the dean. I think, you know, Paul Scar, absolutely. I think
Rita's got another.
Rita's got another one.
No. I just wanted to on Scar, just part of this speech, because this is what they do.
Yeah.
Talk about things like social cohesion, but they also he said here, the debate must be based on evidence and facts. It must be measured and considered. Those two things don't go together. Sometimes evidence and facts can't be that considered because they're stark, they're shocking. They lay out very clearly why a particular policy may be terrible for a country. So you can't demand facts and evidence and figures and then say, oh, no, but you must
be measured and considered.
You've got to just, not say anything that's going to upset anybody anywhere.
But that's
not how it works.
And that's how you end up calling they.
But this is where the Liberal Party is so compromised on this issue because they've got the business lobby and the university lobby and the property developers lobby all in their ear saying, keep this Ponzi going, and that's all this is. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And, you can strip all the culture and all the ethnicity out of it. The fact of the matter is we are building at absolute capacity. There are not enough homes. It is making it impossible for us young Australians to get into a property. It is pushing up the price of everything. Most of these migrants are not skilled, despite what Labor likes to say. Most of those who are here on student visas are not studying at, sandstone universities. There is an easy lay-down misere economic case to make radical cuts for at least 5 years to immigration. Polskar is not the man to prosecute this. He hasn't said anything even about the 100,000 people who are here illegally, having been denied all of their claims for refugee and asylum. I'm sorry, I think that,
they are not ready to have an actual debate about facts and figures and evidence by the unhinged, hysterical reaction to Senator Price talking about Indian migrants and the
quoting
evidence that Kosamaris mentioned about the proportion of the Labour.
But this is why
they treated that as some sort of a race crime, as some sort of racist commentary, when she was just repeating what a Labour pollster
and it was an
had
attack on the Labour Party. It wasn't an attack on Indians, it was an attack on the Labour Party.
And just to prove my point before about why it was important to look at Kos's own numbers, his own numbers say people born outside of Australia are very happy to vote LNP, more so than those born here. So it undermines the whole point. And, for the Liberals to be running away from this issue is terrifying.